Hello, welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and here at Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are overwhelmed by the details of life to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. And today we're going to talk about how to organize all the organizing advice, because there are amazing things you can learn on YouTube and podcasts and social media and in magazines. But sometimes our brains can get cluttered with all those ideas. So I thought it would be fun to highlight 3 videos from some wonderful organizing experts that our community members have raved about. And I will embed the 3 YouTube videos of theirs that I'm going to be highlighting so you can watch them if desired. And then I'll share how organizing their great tips and tricks can actually help you get things done so your home can feel just like what you see online. Now, as we go through these 3 examples, we're going to utilize a few key parts of what we call our STEP Command Central. Okay, this is a system that teaches you how to organize your mind and therefore organize your life. So the 4 key parts that we'll be covering today are the current projects list, support materials, next actions, and routines. And I'll explain them briefly as we go, but we have lots of videos on our YouTube channel explaining how they work. So please make sure you've subscribed to Learn, Do, Become's channel over there to get the most of what we have to offer you. All right, a quick backstory. I grew up moving piles of clutter around in circles and never really feeling organized. And while I loved learning new techniques and skills, etc., I found that once I became an adult and had my own home and family, learning things caused me to feel really stressed. It was like I was just getting more ideas I wouldn't be able to implement. I remember sitting in a community class one time and people were sharing some great ideas for different projects you could do for your family and ways you could make your home run more efficiently and all these things. And I had tense shoulders and I was feeling more and more stress as the evening went on because I wanted to do all those things, but I knew I didn't have the bandwidth. And then I just thought, my brain is full. Stop telling me new things. But now I love learning because I have a system where everything can go and I know I don't need to do everything right now. And that's what I want for you too. All right, ready to jump into the 3 examples? I really love all the great recommendations our community members send to me. And so that's how I found each of these organizers. And I'm really grateful for the wonderful work they do. So the first one, her name's Dawn, and she's the minimal mom. I've never met her, but she feels like my friend. I love watching her clean her house and stuff. Okay, so here's a great video about decluttering your whole house in a year. She goes through room by room. It's actually quite a long video, and she shares mindset shifts and practical advice and suggestions on bids, etc. It's a great video. So if you wanted to do this, how would you remember the things that she shared, or how would you remember to go back to the video, or how will you even get the whole house organized in the middle of all the other stuff you're doing? So I've put together a little bulleted list of what I would recommend so you could implement this. Now, if now is not the time, you're thinking, I'm not going to declutter my whole house this year. I might do it next year, or I might even think about it next month. You could simply write, declutter the house in a year, see minimal mom video from, blank date on your someday projects list. This is like a next level down from the current projects list. Current projects are the key ones you're doing right now, but someday, these are for later. You could just add it there and then create a calendar reminder to check it or consider that project on a specific date in the future. If you don't want to just throw it out there as someday, you think, no, I actually want to remember this maybe in a month or 2 or whatever, that calendar reminder can be great. Or if you are ready to do it right now, you can add it to your current projects list. So when I create my current projects list, I do it on my chalkboard. I put it on a little bookmark in my planner. I also keep it in my project management tool, digitally, Asana. But it's one list for the month divided into the categories me, family or relationships, and beyond. And beyond is paid or volunteer work. With no more than 8 projects on the list total, not 8 in each category. It's like 8 total. And you can do fewer. Sometimes I just have 3 or like 1 if everything's overwhelming. Now, you could do one project called Declutter House, and that could be in the family category of your current projects list. But I personally like to see my projects getting completed more quickly. So putting something like declutter the house and have it on for a whole year, that would just feel like a just long project to me. So what I do is I break that bigger project into several smaller projects. So perhaps each room could be its own sub-project, and then I add them into that project pyramid. And I've kind of alluded to this. So you think about your projects like you have current projects on top. It's the littlest part of the pyramid, just 8 or fewer. Then below that, you have in progress or waiting. These are ones where you've done what you can on it, but you're waiting for something else to happen before you can continue. Below that, you have next in line, and below that, you have someday. And then below that, I have finished, so I can keep track of all the projects I've completed. And we have a video where I describe all this. I'll link that on the show notes page so you can see that as well. I would also keep any related inspirational materials together for decluttering or organizing each space in my support materials, linked inside a digital project manager or bookmarked together or printed and written out in a paper folder in my home cubby, gathered in digital notebooks, something like that. Because the thing is, you always want to be able to get the related materials and have them accessible when you're working on your current projects. So imagine that you watch this video of Dawn's and you think, okay, this is a great way to learn to declutter my home. But then you see some other really neat things online. You're like, oh, I want to add that to my bathroom list. Oh, and you see something else and say, oh, I want this for my office. And then you think, well, as long as I'm decluttering my house, I'll build my step command central and get that just going really well. So then what you can do is in those sub-projects, you can add in links, resources, Pinterest boards, whatever, so that it's all right there. And then when you sit down and say, okay, this month I'm working on these rooms, everything's just available. And that just feels so easy. So hopefully that gives you some excitement and you think, oh, I just don't need to watch a video and then just let it just sit in my memory and then maybe I'll come back to it. You actually have a plan for how to make it happen. All right, second, this is Dana. She runs a channel called A Slob Comes Clean. And she created this awesome video called The Container Concept, where she shares how we often buy more and more stuff and then we keep buying more and more containers and shelves, etc., instead of putting a limit on ourselves and saying something like, I am only keeping as many pens as fit in this one jar. Okay. And it's a great video. But let's say we learn the concept and we watch it. How do we make sure we actually apply it? Now, you might want to go into your someday or current project we discussed above. And in your general notes for decluttering the house, you could write down, remember the container concept from Dana's video on blank date. Set limits in each area of the home, right? Some little reminder. Because you're going to come up with a few thoughts or parameters or values over time that you may want to apply to every decluttering project. So ideally, you'll have a focused list of reminders and suggestions to review when you start on each sub-project or room. And it's a really nice way to help the future you to recall the ideas that inspired you in the past. This could also be a great item to record on your to discuss list. So this is a section of your weekly next actions list where you record items you need to discuss with your spouse or family members or roommate, close friend, etc., like the people closest to you. You might reference the video name and or date on your list so you can quickly just watch it together. And that might help you as you're deciding, what you want to put in specific spots in your home. In the comments of Dana's video, a woman shared that she showed the video to her son, who then went and cleaned his bedroom in 5 hours. And I thought that was awesome. Okay. You might also decide to apply the idea to one major place in your home right now. So maybe you have pens like the ones she shared in the video, and you think, well, I'm not going to clean my whole house right now, but I could apply this video by just decluttering my pens this week. So you could go to your next actions list in the home category and write declutter/containerize the pens in the art cupboard. That's something very specific you could do in 10 minutes or less, and that would move you forward. So is your mind opening a little bit to see, oh my gosh, if I have my systems in place, then as I'm learning new things, I can just add that to current or someday or my next actions list, things like that. All right, final one is from Cassandra. She goes under the name Clutterbug, and she has a video called Speed Clean with Me. Speed cleaning my house with Dirty 30 routine. Okay. And she shares how she spends 30 minutes or less doing the following. So it's make the bed, do the dishes, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom, a tidy tote pickup where she gathers things into a big tote that has smaller totes inside and she sorts by family member or room. Then she does surfaces, spot mop, and laundry. And she has like a printable you can get, or you can screenshot the part of the video where she shows this. But it's great. It's a great idea so that you can just 30 minutes, like do a quick, spruce up of your home. So let's say you like the idea and you're like, wow, how will I make this happen regularly in my home? Now you might want to add this to your weekly routines list. I remember Fly Lady would do this weekly home blessing. It was a nice once a week cleanup. So maybe you have like a regular deep cleaning on Saturdays, but then you do a, dirty 30 midweek. The Step Command Central features a routines list, and that holds everything we do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, etc. You review this list weekly, but if anything is time and date specific, it's also on your calendar as an event. And as you are establishing a routine, you may also add it to your current projects list, or you create calendar reminders. Okay, but the idea is you're going to build this into your structure. So at least every week you're going to see it on your routines list and see it as an option. You don't have to do it. You run your routines don't run you. But having it as a routine, something that you're looking at or something you're establishing, if that's a current project, that's going to help. Or maybe you just want this as a tool to use when the house feels crazy or company is coming. It doesn't need to be written down as a routine if you just think, oh, I'll just do it if I need it. Okay, great. But you could create a little note in your phone. I use Evernote. Some people use Google Drive, Notion. There's all kinds of digital file managers. But you could take her checklist and put it there, and that's your support materials. Those will be your digital support materials. Or you could have it printed and have it in a folder. Like I have my support cubbies and I have a home category, and you can have a little cleaning folder where you put any details, either routines you're establishing for cleaning or a list of supplies or whatever you want. The idea is that then, let's say you look around your house and you think, oh man, I wish we could spend 10 hours getting all of this really clean. Not that you want to spend 10 hours necessarily doing it, but you could think, oh, the house needs 10 hours of cleaning. I don't have time. Oh yeah, but I saw this video and she called it the Dirty 30. What were her things again? Oh yeah, I put them in my phone. And then within 10 seconds, you just pull up the list and you and the family can get to work, turn on some music, make it fun. And of course, you could always just add this to your someday list, or you don't have to do anything with it. I mean, it's just, I want you to know that when you learn something, if you just take that extra step and say, how could I put this into my Command Central so it will come back to me at the appropriate time? Learning to do that, that's a game changer. It's not only going to help you to be able to implement some of these things, but it's going to increase your excitement for learning in general. There's a comment that came in from one of our community members named Tracy, and it just made me smile. And I want to share it so that you can feel the excitement that's ahead as you build your Step Command Central. I feel like I'm pretty organized. However, while speaking with my wonderful friend Valerie about the tidying I was doing following Marie Kondo's book, she then shared that she was excited to begin her Learn, Do, Become program because she really needed some organizational guidance. So then this person, Tracy, went ahead and started building hers as well. And she said, I am so glad I did it. I will admit I've already had a good portion of the Command Central already intact, but I was able to apply a few key elements you suggested. The real aha moments came in the current projects list portion. And I have to tell you, it completely changed my world. 4 exclamation marks. I have gotten more done in a week's time and feel amazing. Projects that I was going to get to 6 or 7 months ago that were stressing me out were done in 2 to 3 days. Other projects are lined up for the future projects. My filing system has been gutted and the clarity I have is incredible. I'm also creating an online program about to launch. I'll be mentioning your program, Learn to Become, to the crazy busy moms I'll be serving. So thank you for being so thorough and so fabulous. And then she said, oh, and by the way, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night thinking I forgot to do something. And it's really only been a little over a week. Oh, it was so great. Okay, so it's awesome to learn new things, right? for home organizing and family raising and marriage strengthening and business building, etc. But sometimes all the learning seems to just go in our minds for a moment and then it disappears. And for many people, it becomes entertainment to watch other people thrive. And I feel really, really passionate about this because we watch other people clean their homes or exercise or cook nutritious meals or spend quality time with their families. And then we could be sitting in our own homes or maybe feeling isolated or maybe feeling like we're in a mess or we're overwhelmed and thinking, man, it's so great that other people can do all those things. But I want you to know that my personal goal isn't for you to watch other people thrive. My personal goal is for you to thrive. And I'm so glad you're here with us. And I hope that you'll want to build your Step Command Central and have a calm, organized mind forever so you can keep learning and doing and becoming. If you come to our show notes page, we have a free training for you. We have links on how to start stepping for free. We have links to our YouTube channel. We have a whole directory. We have so much for you because we want you to be able to get out of this clutter and overwhelm and be able to move forward so that you can feel light, so you're not waking up panicked, so you feel like everything is just under control and you're not trying to do everything. You recognize that you have a specific amount of energy and you can use it deliberately. I'm so, so proud of you and I'm cheering you on and I'm so grateful you're here and hope you have an amazing day. Okay, we'll see you soon.